Alright, YouTube. Me and my son are out here in the gardens February 1st, 2020. And I figured I'd get a couple of strawberry plants in the ground in this small little 4x4 bed. Actually, this may be 3x3. Hell, I don't know. I don't remember what I measured it out to be. But we've been out here weeding. And this particular bed was built a couple years ago. It's had compost and wood chips put in it maybe for 2 years. But look at how easy it is to pull these weeds. I think people get the wrong idea of, kind of back to Eden style or just mulching. They have the wrong idea, wrong expectations for, for the results. And quite frankly, if you go in thinking that you're never going to have to pull another weed, then you're going to fail. Because that's not how it works. You're going to have to weed, but it makes it so much easier just to reach out and just, whoop, get that all by the roots. So that's not a problem. I'm glad to get out here and be able to weed that easily. Another one right here. Oh, that one's going to be a little tougher. Okay, well, just scrape some of that stuff back. Boom. Weeds and all. Roots and all. But yeah, February, great time to get some strawberries in the ground. I've only got 2 plants right here with me. I've got a couple of other packs in the house that I'll go get. I probably won't plant all of those today because I need to figure out where I'm going to put them. Strawberries are going to spread and they're going to take over beds. So really, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. Hold on.
Ew, I don't know what this is.
Okay, now that I've got that, I'm just gonna plop this in right here. You don't want to bury the crowns of your strawberries. Be very careful of that because they will rot and die. Let's see, just right there at the soil line. Don't go any lower than that. Matter of fact, you might want to plant them a little high, just to prevent that. The roots will go down and find what they need to find. But these are going to spread, and this is a summer sweet or sweet summer. Or at least that's what I was told at the nursery. It's a everbearing variety, according to Google anyway. And it's supposed to be really resistant to our summer heat. But look at how that's beautiful soil, guys. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does not take long, I promise. Okay. Hey, one hand. Okay, and once again, just get that in. Get the roots covered. I'm not burying the crown. Those are gonna grow beautifully. I cannot wait. That's probably a little close, but that's, I don't know, that's about 8 inches. You want to go about 8 inches to a foot. They're going to eventually start sending out runners. Of course, this variety, I believe, the nurseryman told me that that these don't send out runners quite as readily. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and stick these in this bed. It also gets more sun in the fall and winter, to keep these guys a little bit warmer. Other than that, like I said, we've just been out here for, I don't know, maybe an hour, and we've got this bed and this bed almost completely rid of weeds. Well, my son was working on this one. It's not quite as weed free as this one. Got some, hush, son. But yeah, did not mean to end that video. So yeah, I've got my garlic here. I got it in a little late, which I don't think is going to be a bad thing. Oh, okay. Okay, so we got this, whatever the hell kind of, it's like a crabgrass, I guess. And it's one of those persistent summer weeds that you just keep fighting. And I was not able to get much of that root, but I've got in here in both of these beds and been able to pull out, a root 2 feet long, because they bury about, 4 to 6 inches under the ground, and then they just run. They grow via rhizomes, and they'll just run under your soil and pop up all over the place. They'll re-root if you just leave them on the soil. So, that's not a friendly weed. Let's get these stuffed off in there. Go ahead and put our plant tag in. Actually, that plant tag doesn't really tell us anything. It doesn't have the variety name on the tag, so not really a fan of that, but whatever. But yeah, these are supposed to be heat resistant. They'll perennialize easier than other cultivars in Texas. Texas heat, man, it's a killer. Yeah, I'm getting old, but I still love to be out here in the garden. And you see, I've got a bunch of really ugly sheep mulch. Got some comfrey that's being trampled, but it'll come back just fine. There's some more comfrey, I believe, over here. No. There's another one over here. And I'm thinking this is ryegrass that's just everywhere during the winter. It'll die off in summer, though. This comfrey is Bocking 4. I chose it because it's, well, like 14, it's also a sterile variety, but I think it said the roots go down like 10 feet, whereas Bocking 14 only goes down like 8, and I just figured, those extra 2 feet might help in our drought years. Cilantro came up just fine. Even I sowed that right before, it was probably, I don't know, 2 weeks before we got a really quick and pretty hard frost in November. Spinach also came back after that frost. They were just barely sprouting when it froze, and it ended up knocking them back. And now they're growing back. They're getting chewed on by something. I'd say probably slugs with as much rain as we've had this fall. There's also a radish in there. It's probably not going to do anything though. Yeah, see, I'm not sure. I'm not doing well with my my root crops, but we'll see if we can't fix that eventually. That's another weed. Yep, got the root now. So, ow. Just got to figure out, what you want to, how much work you want to do in your garden. Understand that you are not going to kill every weed in your garden simply by composting and mulching. So, keep your expectations in check. Understand what you can expect from something, and then you won't feel so bad when you don't have a completely weed-free garden. That's just the nuts and bolts of it. I was thinking about planting some of those other strawberries in this bed, but this has got some pretty deep, friable soil, and this is really where I want to do my sweet potatoes this summer. And if I've got a bunch of strawberries in here, then, well, not likely going to get many sweet potatoes. And while we do love strawberries, sweet potatoes will feed us more. So, more calories per square foot. But yeah, that quick, that handful of weeds. And now, I've got a much prettier bed. I need to get that, but I'm gonna go right over here and toss these in the compost pile. Got some wood chips, leaves, kitchen scraps, horse manure. I actually did a video building this little, it's not even 18 inches, and it heated up to about 120. So, you know, take that for what you want, but height is not always the biggest determining factor, whether you get heat or not. Of course, you want it to be as high as you can get it. I'll go get some more manure probably tomorrow. I've still got a lot of leaves, a lot of wood chips. I took this bed apart. It was about 10 by 10 or 9 by 10, something like that, and just leveled out some of the wood chips. Got that almost to the fence. I've got a lot of cleaning up to do back here, so please don't mind the garbage and stuff. I got to get that wood out of here. That slab of concrete's gonna come out. Probably not all this weekend. This is a lot of work, and boy, I tell you, man, after working all week, it's hard to get the motivation to get out here and do too much in the garden. I think I'm gonna plant some of those other strawberries over here, but maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't know. Because I want to sheet mulch back here again, and knock some of these weeds down. But if I do, then I won't be able to plant the strawberries out until that stuff breaks down better, and by then those bare roots will be dead and gone. So, yeah, that's about it for now. I just wanted to show you guys. I don't want to show you just the end product at the end of the day, or you know, at the end of, you know, whenever I get this garden the way I want it. I don't want to just pop up and start making videos. I want to show you guys the work that it's taking to get to that point eventually. So yeah, you know, it's not beautiful yet, but we're working on it. We'll talk to you guys later.